We'll start this evening with our elementary principal, Ms. Thea Jackson Byers. Yeah.
On.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I am super excited to introduce to some and present to others our Bradley Elementary School February Student of the Month, none other than Mr. Joseph Dickerson. Please come on up, Mom, and come on up, Grandma. That's right, come on up. Just to let you know a little bit, also we have Joseph Teacher here. She wants to say a couple of words really quick about Joseph. During our walkthroughs, Dr. Adams can attest, we have looked at Joseph's writing samples, and Dr. Adams has looked, and he's like, this is an exemplar. He was so excited when he saw all the books awards, and his handwriting is awesome, and we are so proud of him. And we have his teacher, Ms. Rouse.
This young man right here, he is certainly deserving of this award. He is an outstanding student, not only on paper, but he is also an outstanding young man. He is always respectful. He always makes sure that he gets his work done correctly. And when he has any problems with anything, he is wise enough to raise his hand and make sure that he gets an understanding before we move on with anything. So I'm super proud of Joseph Dickerson, and congratulations, sweetie, you deserve this.
Good job, Joseph.
So Joseph, we have a couple of things for you. We have some Bradley Schoolwear, of course. And of course, Ashley, as his mom, we have some Bradley Schoolwear for you. And Ashley, it would not be possible to have Joseph without you, so we want to give you your flowers. And without Ashley, we have to give Joanne her flowers for giving us Ashley, who gave us Joseph. So this is And just to let you know, Joseph's uncle and his sister and his whole family is there. They're here to cheer him on. Thank you, Joseph, and congratulations. Our Bradley Elementary. Next, we have our Bradley Elementary School staff member, none other than Mrs. Life Conforti. When I tell you, she has been the wind beneath our wings. When her co-teacher was out for more than half of the year, she held it down, and we are so proud of her and her faculty and the staff said thank you for everything that you do, and we appreciate everything you did to hold everything together. So congratulations and thank you. And Ms. Conforti, starting tomorrow, you part in the principal's party space. Big stuff, right? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson Byers. We're going to bring up the high school principal, Ms. O'Neill.
So I'm going to start presenting our Students of the Month. Our Students of the Month are not here tonight, but I still wanted to recognize both. First, we are recognizing a 12th grader, Tiana Kelly. Tiana is in our Pathways to Graduation program. She is in an accelerated program to try to get her to her goal of graduation at the end of June. She is doing fantastic work in there. She's taking 7 classes to graduate, which is more than typical. She's ahead of schedule on all of them. She's passing them all with straight A's, and she's had perfect attendance since she started the program. So someone who really has shown resilience, so we're recognizing her this evening. And then 8th grade, we are recognizing 8th grader Fakai Gross. He is in our Dream Academy program. Fakai has maybe the most positive attitude we'll ever see. He makes me smile and laugh even when things are not funny. He is getting straight A's as well. He has near perfect attendance, and he's just been a really great breath of fresh air. He will advocate for the 8th graders. He will come and talk to me and air out his grievances. He's just a really all-around good character kid, and he's doing a great job. So. My staff member of the month is Miss Becky Band, who is one of our teachers. Miss Band is also just a really positive attitude in general. She is always smiling. She's someone who always volunteers first to help out. This year, she brought a Holocaust and Genocide Studies class to our school, and she actually has helped facilitate a partnership with Stockton University that will start next year, which is another dual enrollment opportunity for our students. So really exciting for us. That will be in addition to Dream Academy and sort of even more students with college readiness. So she brought that to us and really pushed me to consider it and get all the information, and we're really, really excited about it. So congratulations.
Congratulations. We'll bring up Mr. Perry Medina for the MLK Upper Elementary.
Thank you very much. Again, my name is Perry Medina, principal at Dr. Martin Luther King Upper Elementary. Get on that orange tape. My student of the month is none other than 6th grader Emily Salomon Torres. I'd like to invite her and her family up. So if you notice, you'll see she has a blazer on, and the insignia is Council of Students. Emily was recently voted by her peers to be a member of the student council. And that comes with great responsibility. However, we know that she's up to the task. Not only that, she's a straight A student. She is a wonderful, wonderful human being, and we are so proud of what she has been able to accomplish. And she is a very great example of the talent Asbury Park has and the talent that we can cultivate. Emily, I'm proud of you. Mom and Dad, thank you so much. And little sister. All right. All right, and our staff member of the month, Ms. Adonia Snyder, who actually got Teacher of the Year last year for our program. So, bring up the family too. So, Ms. Snyder, as I mentioned, got Teacher of the Year last year for MLK. She has been such a great help, great support, committed to her peers, committed to the school, committed to her students and parents. And we are extremely fortunate that we have a part of the team because she is able to complement all others to get the job done. So thank you so much, Ms. Snyder.
Thank you. Let's give a round of applause. Last but not least, Dr. Schultz.
We got creative.
Oh, you got creative.
Good evening, everyone. It is with delight and great pride as the principal of Thurgood Marshall Elementary School that I call up a young lady who is a third grade student, who is not only a member of our safety patrol, and volunteers in every school event and takes initiative. She is someone who is making gains academically, has stellar attendance, and has been quoted by her peers and teachers alike of being kind, nurturing, and supportive to all students pre-K through 3rd grade at Thurgood Marshall. And she's also the Spirit Week champion of our school. So Ms. Zendaya Young and Mom, will you please come up and accept your student award? And for you, a backpack filled with a lot of your favorite things that we talked about today. Congratulations, sweetheart. And now for our staff member of the month. I am again beaming with pride for this month selected by his selection by his peers. The staff member of the month is someone who is in his 23rd year of service for the Asbury Park School District for the Office of Safety and Security. He had perfect attendance last year and is on his way to gaining perfect attendance for this school year. He is truly the first person any visitor at Thurgood Marshall sees. He knows every family, every student, every staff member, and we hear nothing but positive things about him. Mr. Keith Turpin, will you please come on and accept our staff member of the month? And we got very creative for you. Here is a card from your students with its Random Acts of Kindness month. So your students wrote Random Acts of Kindness there. Thank you that you do each day for you. So thank you.
Good job, good job.
You'll open it up once he, Mr. Turpin, if you wouldn't mind, just open it up so they can see it. Okay, one of our high school, eighth grade, one of our 8th grade students. All right.
We're going to have a little repeat because he just came. So our 8th grade student of the month is Mr. Fakai Gross. Come on up, buddy. As I said before, Fakai is one of our Dream Academy students, known for his super positive attitude, but also his just genuine interest in school, his drive to want to make it better, his, I think, fearlessness in advocating for things to be better and speaking on behalf of his class. He has befriended me, I think, as one of the first faces when I came to the high school, and he makes me laugh even when we're having serious conversations. So congratulations to Fakai.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. We're about to officially open the meeting. In accordance with the vision of the Open Public Meeting Act, NJS 10-4-6, let the Asbury Park Board of Education provide an adequate notice of this meeting by sending a notice of the time, date, location, and film and agenda of this meeting to Asbury Park Press, the new poster on January 27, 2023 via email. Copies of this notice has been placed at the Administrative Bulletin Board, District Schools, Asbury Park Municipal Building, Asbury Park Police Department, filed with City Clerk on January 27, 2023. Asbury Park School District will provide all students with comprehensive progressive education, where possessing skills and character to succeed in a diverse, evolving global society. Roll call, please.
Mr. Brill? Here. Mrs. Zinsky? Here. Dr. Penna? Mr. Reddy? Here. Ms. Riggs? Mr. Rogers? Here. Mr. Saunders? Ms. Oswald? Here. Ms. Butler?
Here.
Please rise for the flag salute.
Good evening once again. We're at the portion of the presentation, so I just wanted to update the community on a couple of things prior to the committee reports. As we've been moving in a more, well, we've been consistently transparent with our message regarding the updates of academic programs within the district. Contrary to any misinformation, as I had indicated last month, there was zero intentions of dismantling the Allied Health Program. This evening before the board, there will be a recommendation for the hiring of a staff member, as I indicated last month, that we would be moving forward with that, as well as tutoring services for our students in the Dream Academy program, 11th graders, through the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, the Monmouth County chapter, I forget the exact Greek letter name. However, they also will be providing SAT tutoring to our Dream 11 students, as well as having additional tutors for our students in the Allied Health program, which we were able to secure through Rutgers, as well as the physician that is one of the tutors is the wife of one of the members of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, who actually does volunteering at Thurgood Marshall and has been doing that for the greater part of this year. Yes, she is a physician, MD. So with that, wanted to make sure that that was clear before there was any potential misinformation regarding where and how we're moving with our programs. Additionally, I met with the Student Advisory Committee today, which I do monthly, and addressed some of the concerns regarding lunch for Bradley and Thurgood, moving from nuggets to patties and chicken patties. But also, during that meeting, we were able to have a candid conversation about some information that the Dream Scholars in 8th grade were being told that we were dismantling the 8th grade program going into next year. I want to be very clear, as I was to those students. If you do not get the information from my mouth, do not believe what you are being told. Do not believe anything written by a blogger. If you do not hear it from me, and there are students in the audience who were sitting in that meeting this morning, our young man right there in the front row, and the misinformation regarding the Brookdale dual enrollment program, which we have been working with Brookdale and President Stout of Brookdale, had a meeting with him last week regarding the transition for all dual enrollment programs at Brookdale for every school that has a dual enrollment program in Monmouth County. So let me say that one more time. Every school that has a dual enrollment program in Monmouth County and a partnership with Brookdale will be transitioning from the associate degree program to a 30 college credit program, beginning with next year's 9th graders. Let that sink in for a second. We are not dismantling any of our dual enrollment programs. We are not dismantling the Allied Health program. We had to move the materials and equipment because we had HVAC work being done in those classrooms. Let that sink in for a second. Because I came today for all the smoke. Because the one thing that we're not going to do is continue to hear the misinformation and the deliberate disinformation about what's going on in Asbury Park when it directly impacts our students. So, we will be bringing in cosmetology and eliminating the law and public safety, the law and public safety CTE. We have gone to Jersey City to visit Lincoln High School, which has one of the oldest operating cosmetology programs in the state. Almost 50 years in existence. Not only did we meet with the superintendent in Jersey City, but also the assistant superintendent over the program, as well as we will be partnering with them in terms of identifying certificated, certified, licensed instructors for that program. That program, if a student was to take on a cosmetology interest, would cost almost $23,000 on their own after graduation. So the curriculum, we will be partnering with the Jersey City Public Schools, who will be in full support of that program because they've already written the curriculum for cosmetology. We will be working in partnership with them. So I want to make sure that you need to dot the I's and cross the T's on everything that I say before it's reported. As well as I had a meeting last month with our student advisor. I wish she was here, but she was in the student advisory meeting this morning regarding the Dream 11 program and the supports. One of the things that came out of that meeting is those high school students that are at Asbury Park will be volunteering on Tuesdays and Thursdays when they are not taking the SAT prep class at our elementary school students to do volunteer hours at not only the high school, which was one of the areas that the students expressed an interest in doing and working with the 7th and 8th graders, but also Bradley, the upper elementary, and Thurgood Marshall. I'll give a pregnant pause for that so that sinks in. At no time are we stifling or shortening student voices. I have met with the students every month and continue to meet with them monthly to get their feedback on how we can make this district better. One of the things that was brought up in today's meeting was regarding the uniform and the flexibility at the high school. They will present some feedback for me, which we will discuss at our next month's meeting and begin to plan a course of action for September. Again, I want to reiterate, the president of any association does not speak on behalf of the district. I am the superintendent. I am the chief academic officer. I speak on behalf of the operations and the execution of those operations for the district. If it doesn't come out of my mouth, if it's not in writing, and excuse my passion because, I'm just not a docile black man. Don't confuse my passion with arrogance or anything, but I'm an advocate on behalf of the children in this district. First and foremost. So I hope that that is correctly printed, recorded, and disseminated. The children in this district come first. That's my report.
Thank you, Doctor.
Make sure you got my good side. And my scarf.
Good evening, everyone. I am going to just go over a few bullet points from the athletic committee meeting in February. Kind of coming off of Dr. Adams, I want to say what I'm getting ready to say does not mean someone is being terminated, someone is looking to be terminated. It is something that the district and any other district has to do as mandated when it comes to athletics. It is mandatory that we look to interview prospects. In saying that, the district is looking to interview and hire football coaches, baseball coaches, and volleyball coaches. Again, that does not mean anyone has lost anything. It just means it's something that has to be done. It's just part of what, I guess, athletics do. They look to hire every year. So please do not go back and tell someone, oh, you're losing your position, you're not going to be coaching next year, or whatever the case may be. That's not what this is about. Secondly, I want to say congratulations to the middle school. They had a really successful season with the girls basketball team and the wrestling team. Everyone seems to think that, you know, things are looking well, and they had a pretty good winning season, actually. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Anything else? Athletics? No, just, that's it. But please, again, no rumors. Anybody concerned, anybody want to bring up something you feel like, oh, athletics said they're hiring. We have a whole personnel department. I'm sure no one is saying that, you know, we're losing anyone. Thank you.
Okay, the Finance Committee, we went over the stabilization we received that's going to go to projects that were originally earmarked for ESSER funds and had to use this year to make up some budget differences. Went over the budget calendar, which is going to be a tight squeeze for all business administrators in the state of New Jersey because of the timelines. They keep changing and things have to be put in at different times or the day after. It's a really busy season for business administrators. So we are thinking about, or we should, if we can have a special meeting on March 16th or before then, to put in a tentative budget, approve a tentative budget for the board, if that date's acceptable. The elevator project, Dr. Martin Luther King Middle School is, upper middle school is going to be hopefully done by the first week in April. We also have, which is, I guess, everybody's waiting for, we also have a change order for the rooftop unit, the kitchen area in the upper elementary because of the airflow, so that's on the agenda. It's a greater increase in airflow than anticipated. Our CAFRA report, they're supposed to be presented in April, March or April, and so far no findings that we know of. We also discussed food service bids that have to go out because the timelines at that time when we go out every, was it 4 years or 4 years? 5 years? And then we're also looking at the substitute services that we have to see whether we're going to go out for bidding it. And that's my report.
I'm sorry, back to athletics, but I forgot to mention, if you know someone who is qualified, those positions are on our district website. Okay, so Dr. Adams, as far as qualifications, that they will find that out on the district website.
The qualifications are all postings. Again, just to reiterate and provide clarity, all coaching positions are yearly positions. Every year, coaches have to reapply, re-interview for all coaching positions. Once you're hired as a coach, that does not mean you're the coach until you retire from coaching. That is by law. So to open up, again, to expand the pool of candidates, that is what Vice President Alsbay is referring to. So trying to expand the experience pool, and as a former athlete, iron sharpens iron. So the best coaches, it's a meritocracy, best players, meritocracy. So that is what that is intended to do, to strengthen our pool of coaches in order to strengthen our pool of programs. So that's what that is intended for.
Good evening, everyone. We have a really robust agenda items here for the C9 committee, but I'm excited about some of the things that we have coming. First thing, we are working with our allied health students to provide them their CPR life support class. So we have an agenda item for that, so that any of the 12th grade senior allied health students can participate. We're also looking at continuing our work with Fulfill New Jersey for our garden at the MLK Upper Elementary School. We started this last year. We were able to actually produce some vegetables. The kids took home with them, so we hope to continue that this year. Also partnering, we're going to partner with Boys and Girls Club as part of our efforts to expand our after-school offerings. And so we contacted them, and we worked with them in the past. So we're looking to do a partnership with them again this year at a cost not to exceed $19,400. Excited about the proposal to bring in our cosmetology program, CTE, which we are looking to get approved, and we're going to start that process immediately once it's approved. I'm also excited again for the recommendation to have our tutors on this board agenda. We have been working with our students in order to make it official here. And they have all volunteers. They all are either medical students or are doctors themselves who are working, like I said, voluntarily with our students at the Allied Health Program. Our 12th graders who need to, who are looking to graduate or finish their program. We're also, the next 5 or 6 items all pertain to our summer school program. They're broken up this way because different funding sources and different programs require a different agenda write-up. So basically, we start with our pre-K to 6th grade program. This year, we're going to house the summer program at one building, Thurgood Marshall, for several reasons. One, consolidation. 2, because we have a lot of construction going on in the district. Thurgood Marshall seems poised to host all of our programs. So that's what we're looking to do. Also partnering, just as an aside, we're partnering with the city to make sure that students who do attend the summer program have a full day opportunity with the rec program of the city. So I've been in close contact with Mr. Eastford of the city to make sure that that happens and our students have everything they need so they can, so their parents, so they can have a full day of summer programming for your children. So basically, that covers both our summer, it covers our high school as well, our credit recovery for the high school kids, as well as our summer dream classes that our dream students take in the summer as well. It's all in here. And then one of the final items on our agenda is that we're looking to approve the wrestling club, as we've done in years past, with the Asbury Park Community Development Initiative. And that will take place at the upper elementary school, where the season is going to run from March 13th to June 2023 for our 4th to 12th grade students, 3-day week program, part of Beat the Streets. And that is my report.
Thank you, Madam President. Buildings and grounds. So Ms. Lisinski covered a couple of the items regarding the architectural services, and ESSER funds, elevator. But we did get a facility use request. We received an application for use of the football stadium by A7FL. The Tackle Football League that has used the stadium in the past. They're going to pay the associated fees for use for Sundays, March through June. It's like a local XFL league. The committee received an email from the Asbury Little League regarding the 1,000 use fee. They have asked that the use fee be waived based on several upgrades that they like to donate to the district, including a new scoreboard, batting cage netting, picnic tables, and regrading of the infield. Central office relocation and future use of the Obama building. The district is moving forward with improvements to the Barack Obama building to prepare for the move. Central office from 4th Avenue. The district ordered new routers, switches, wireless endpoints to match the upgrades being done in other buildings throughout the district. Also, other items were, we had a water pipe burst over the recent cold weekend, a few weekends ago at MLK. The water impacted 4 rooms on the second floor, 4 rooms on the first floor. The incident was reported to the district insurance carrier, and remediation activities are underway. I don't know, since we met, are they still underway or they finished?
Well, they cleaned out and removed all the debris and impacted areas, and the next step will be refurbishment, get everything back to
And then the committee also discussed refurbishing the softball field opposite of the varsity baseball field at the high school. What was that? Anyway, so that's my report. I did want to piggyback for a moment on what Ms. Halls-Bay said and also what Dr. Adams said about rumors and misinformation really quick. I don't know if everyone knows, but New Jersey actually became the first state to mandate K-12 students learn about information literacy. And my personal opinion is, I think there's also a lot of adults that should take that information literacy class. Dr. Adams is being very nice, not really mentioning the blog. I'm not better. I will lay it down. This blog that you hear us talking about, okay, it's a blog that is funded by the Results in Education Foundation. What is the Results in Education Foundation? It is a nonprofit that supports charter schools with a budget of over $6 million. The author of, and the person that, I don't even want to say reports, but spews this misinformation and, in her own words, gossip and rumor, okay? Any piece of trash that gets thrown her way. She gets paid, and you can look this up in their 990 form, $133,000 a year. That's up from $125,000 last year. How many people here make $133,000 a year? One person. What I'm saying is that we need to be really careful about where we both receive our information from, okay, and know where to connect the dots. If there's a political agenda, and this woman's political agenda, and this organization's very well-funded political agenda is to increase enrollment in the charter schools by bad-mouthing public schools and public school teachers, not just in Asbury Park, but also all over New Jersey, okay? And it's a tough gig. Trust me, I don't envy Ms. Waters because New Jersey has the #1 public schools in the country. So what do? They pick on the weakest, so-called weakest school district, former Abbott districts, including Newark, including Camden, and including Asbury Park. So I just want to make people aware where this agenda is coming from. They want to see you put out of business, teachers. They want to see all of these schools locked up and all the kids go to charter schools. That is their mission. It is a very well-funded mission. And you know what? Shame on you if you're sitting there giving this person rumors and emailing her all kinds of misinformation about the schools. Because I know there's teachers here that work their butts off, there's students that work their butts off, there's staff that work their butts off, and there's people over here that work their butts off every day to make sure that we do what best we can for our students. And this lady thinks she can come around and do this. Go ahead, try me, Ms. Waters. Me, Joe Grillo, school board member. That's all I am. I got nothing to lose with this lady. So if she wants to go and sit there and badmouth us, go right ahead. I'm going to badmouth her. I'm going to make sure that I find out every little bit about this Results in Education Foundation. But the charter schools aren't going to win. Everybody talks about these little expenditures here and there. Nobody talks about the $12 million that we spend every year, that we have to take of taxpayer money and then funnel it to the charter schools. They want to see more of that. They want to see these buildings closed, and I'm sure as hell not going to make that happen. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Joe, for saying what I wanted to.
Sorry, that's the truth.
Thank you, Madam President. Policy Committee met on the 16th, reviewed the alert that was put out by Strauss Esme. That's the group that provides most school districts across the state with updates that reflect changes in legislation or law. There's about 14 policies and regulations that are on for a second reading in the agenda tonight. The committee also discussed our policy on student-provided technology devices and talked about the cost of repairs made to damaged by devices and how we might go about recovering some of the costs associated with broken screens, lost machines, those sorts of things. So they have some ideas, but they're not ready to present anything at this moment. That's all for me. Thank you.
Good afternoon to everyone. I'd like to thank all the staff that supported me and gave me words of encouragement after last month's meeting. I'm truly grateful, and I realize that it is not a one and done thing. I hope this does not come off as me being nagging, but I need to see a change before I leave this school district next school year. Since the last meeting, it was announced that another teacher from the Asbury Park High School resigned. This teacher was my coach, instructor, and a role model to me, as well as countless students at Asbury Park High School. I mention this because actions speak louder than words, and when a staff member of that high esteem resigns, you have to question what went wrong. This teacher was Ms. McMillan, and I'd also like to mention that there are some issues with the students in her class that are not receiving credit and final grade because they didn't find a long-term sub for her class. Another thing I realized from the addition of supervisors is the lack of interest in building connection with our students. When we're introduced to new faces that will dictate the things that we do, we should feel that we can rely on them with any problems that we have. Instead, it feels a bit disengaging and detached. My other concern, which was talked about in the student advisory meeting with the other schools, is the Dream Academy program. It won't come to an end, but I was informed that students will not receive half the credits of what we receive now. This topic was a bit important because I have a sister that is going to be an incoming freshman next year, and apparently there was a bit of uproar over this. The students were upset because they were relying on this program for the future, and the way that it was told to them, I think it could have been handled better, because my mom was also really looking forward to my sister being part of the program that I was going to be finishing with. Decisions like these should be handled with more seriousness, since my sister was looking forward to be part of this dual enrollment program. I do understand the rumors and speculations that shouldn't happen, but that's what happens when no one knows what's going on. I do see the initiative of the Allied Health Program, and I hope to see more improvements. Thank you.
If I may follow up on one item, I did have a communication with Ms. McMillan, who, if everybody doesn't know, she just had a baby. So she is a very young infant, and she accepted a position that's 6 minutes from her house in her hometown. So with childcare and other things that she needs to take care of, it was a good move for her. And she did say that she loves Asbury Park High School, so just wanted to add that.
Thanks, Lee.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to open up public participation, but before I do, please try to keep it at the 3 minutes because there's a lot of you and I want to make sure everyone gets heard. At this time, we'll open up public participation. Come closer to the next speaker, bring it down to you. Just state your name and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marvel, and I'm from North Carolina.
You're a resident in Asbury.
Yes. I'm currently in the Asbury Park School District, and I would like to. I'm currently an 8th grade student in the Asbury Park School District. I would like to inquire about a restart to the Law Enforcement Academy. My professional endeavor is to become an attorney. And a law enforcement academy will allow me to be exposed to all aspects of law enforcement. The exposure will broaden my understanding of law. In my introductory course, I discovered the Bill of Rights and I applied that learning into my basic life. That's why I'm standing here today. My previous speech when it comes to my education. I'm eager for you to restore the Law Enforcement Academy. Hi everyone, I was just introduced to you as the new student of the month, but I'm also concerned about my education. Hi, my name is Makai Gross. I'm also currently in school in the Asbury Park School District. I was inspired by the students that came to the previous board meeting to discuss the important academy being eliminated. Of course, I am referring to the Allied Health Academy. I'm here today to ask for our law enforcement academy to be reinstated. As a 7th grader, I was introduced to this academy. This introduction intrigued my curiosity, causing me to determine that I wanted to participate in the law enforcement academy. When I got to my freshman year, fortunately, I'm reaching my freshman year, however, the law enforcement academy has been abolished. The Law Enforcement Academy provided an opportunity for students to investigate careers involving law enforcement. In addition, this academy helped me gain and earn a better understanding of law enforcement and to have a higher level of respect for the work that law enforcement entails. Furthermore, the Law Enforcement Academy gave me an in-depth knowledge and comprehension of the legislative and judiciary branches of government. As a result of the Law Enforcement Academy being eliminated, students are forced to repeat the same classes they have already done. I know Ms. O'Neill may have enlightened us about different opportunities that are coming to the school in the future, but this is what I really want, and I really have my hopes and dreams soared. In light of what you have just heard, I'm imploring this board to reconsider and reinstate into the curriculum the Law Enforcement Academy. Hello, my name is Mariah Wilson. I'm from Asbury Park High School. I feel like the law and public safety program, it helped me learn a lot about law. At first I wanted to be an actor, but once I joined the class, I learned lots and lots and made me want to become a lawyer in the future. So being that we don't have the program now, or we don't have allied health, it's like, I'm trying to figure out those things. But maybe if we were to bring back the law enforcement program, we all will be able to pursue our dreams within the law enforcement.
Good afternoon. My name is Takia Lawson, resident of Asbury Park. So I have two things that I would like to address. First thing is involving my daughter who attends upper elementary school, and I want to thank Mr. Medina because he's been doing a great job communicating with me regarding the issues that I'm having. But it was brought to my attention that my daughter was not receiving some of her services that she's supposed to be receiving because they do not have enough staffing in place. So I would like to know what's going to be done about the staffing. This Medina did work out to where he did put someone else on those services that she was missing lately. But the fact that she went so long and it went unnoticed for so long is kind of unacceptable. And secondly, I'm glad to hear that you guys are bringing more CTE programs to Asbury Park. But what my concern is the criteria in which you are bringing the CTEs to Asbury Park. When it comes to cosmetology, and I know this information because CTE is what I teach and it's what my passion is, cosmetology is set to grow 11% in demand by 2031. You have other CTEs that are more in demand that's looking to grow about 18% within the next 5 years, like cybersecurity. Or you have drone flying that is set to grow 51.1% within the next 5 years. So if we want to set our students up for a better future, not give them things that, yes, it will save them about $28,000 depending on what school they go to for cosmetology afterwards. But what is the job prospect looking like when there's already so many barbers, hairstylists, beauticians out there right now if they don't know the business part of them running their own business once they get that license? So job security isn't really there, so why don't we give them CTEs that would grant them job security once they finish high school, to where they are not looking for something else to supplement their income because they took a CTE that had low job security at the moment. Thank you.
Well, you guys always throw me for a loop. Good evening, my name is Maureen Casey and I reside at 1670 West Princeton Avenue in Brick. I was employed by the Asbury Park Board of Education for 34 years and retired in June of 2021 due to needing a hip replacement. I was so excited to see a position being posted with a closing date of 2/14/23 and to see that there's an addendum tonight that just got put on. I had a nice 3-minute, 3-second little talk about how I went through the whole process of filling out the application completely with letters of recommendation, got my resume buffed up, sent in everything, completed and done. I am thrilled, but I was told, and I have my email here, that I didn't want to have to pull up. Per our phone conversation, your interview has been canceled since you're only available 2 days a week, Wednesdays and Thursdays. The position is a 3 to 4 days a week minimum of 20 hours a week position. Thank you so much, and it was great speaking to you. I know the schools, I know the students, I know the teachers, I know the staff, I know the area, I know everything, I know the systems. I could slide right in. I am thrilled that you hired, that someone is on the agenda for tonight. I am thrilled. However, why did we wait so long? And why did my replacement get fired last year? There was never going to be a decrease in services. You were always going to have the same amount of services for speech, OT, and PT. Always. It wasn't going to change. So why do we now have to worry about compensatory? And now this lovely person, whoever it might be, I am so thrilled. 18 hours per week when I was told it had to be 20. No training. You wouldn't have had to train me. I am, like I said, I am happy that you have someone. Why did it take so long? And on the agenda for board members, June 2022, did you know that you previously hired an LDTC who was previously hired, who worked here on the agenda, and an outside contractor for speech and OT? They were approved and they were never brought on. They were never brought here. Why? Why do you keep doing this to our special ed students? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Please stop brushing them under the carpet. Please stop pushing our parents and telling them lies by sending them letters that they're going to be getting all this compensatory. Please stop. Please stop. There's a revolving door in the special ed supervisor and director position. Why? Board members, please, 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 please.
Good evening. Sheila Brazil, 1200 Jefferson Street, Asbury Park, New Jersey. Two things. First thing, about, I was going to speak on the uniforms. I came in November, asked about the color. If they have packing in black, because from my understanding, is kids come to school, but since they don't have the color uniforms, they have to go to detention. But I think if you just allow them for this year to work it out for next year, to wear black pants, as long as they come to school, they get the education. They won't have to go to detention. And the second thing, if you will, I guess, allow me to, I want to play something for you.
Two Whoppers, 2 Whopper Juniors, and 4 Coca-Cola. And when I have to wait long, you make 1 Whopper with no pickle and no lettuce?
No, sir. Hold the pickle, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us, so we ask you that you let us service your way. Oh, well, in that case, could I have the other Whopper with extra ketchup? Sure. We can serve your movie Whopper fresh with everything on topper. Any way you think is proper.
I'm sorry, ma'am, excuse me. I don't understand what's being said, that's why.
Okay, because I haven't said anything yet. I'm letting it go, yeah.
That's the way to do things. I'll wait.
Okay, I played that for a reason, because people come in this district and think they can have things their way. And if you would put on an application that this is not Burger King, you cannot come here and do what you want to do and have it your way, because it's like, it's getting ridiculous now. This has been going on and on and on. So, come on, let's get real here, okay? So, from what I understand, you got people coming in, don't respect our kids. The kid is already, some of them have home training, but some of the adults go to school to the kids, and like they don't have home training too. So if you, as an adult, you should be teaching these kids, not stooping to their level and saying the derogatory stuff back to them, but they say it to you. This is not a tick and tack to the situation. Don't do as I do as I say, that's what they say, but you don't have to, school to the kids, that you need to be educated. And as an adult, no matter if it's not your child, but set an example. Thank you, have a good night.
I just wanted to say I had a problem with the AD athletic director, and I don't know, he just comes to our school and I don't know, but I basically had a problem with my friend, and we're having like a one-to-one cuts it off, and then he's basically speaking to me in like disrespect. He's telling me stuff like the fact that I look at the apartment, and he just likes to go back and forth with us kids. I'm not like the first person that this happened to. It's actually like a second. It's my first club speaking. I mean, it's the first time that's not a off all the derbies. So I had a problem with the athletic director, and I just felt offended. It was something like the apartment or something like that, and that's not something you're supposed to be telling the kid as a professional. And yes, I said stuff to him, but that's not like after the fact. He was expecting me to saying stuff like that, and they try to say I'm a fake athlete, and you're saying I'm a fake basketball player, and telling me just picking on me. I found something to be old, 17 years old, probably messing with me. It's just I'm not the first person to have it. I'm just here to stand up for myself. And I can't by myself. My mom out here, shit I learned. I just want to speak out because it's not just happening to me, it's happening to my kid. And that's what it is.
If I heard the meeting name with was. Oh, okay. I thought I could have it. Dr. Adams, I consider you.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, your name, please?
My name is Felia Kendall. I'm a resident of Asbury Park. I had come last month, concerning my granddaughter and the DREAM program. I hear that there may be some sort of partial solution for my problem because last month she was just unattended in the classroom, unattended. Didn't like that at all. But I have an issue with, Mr. Reese. Where can I get a copy of the 11th grade curriculum? I can get one from you? Or 11th grade and 12th grade? 11th and 12th. But my question to you, sir, is there is something going on and maybe, because I think I read this blog that you're talking about. So I spoke to another person who goes to Asbury Park High School. And the kid told me he's in a program. It's in the library. He's in the 11th grade. He was going to school midway after the second marking period. His whole schedule got changed and he goes to the library. Okay. And I asked him, oh, right, so you go, and he told me he's working on some subjects. And I said, okay, so how long do you work on it? He said, as soon as he finishes each one of the subjects that he has to do, he said he could leave. I said, leave what? He said, leave school. I said, that would be, that's ridiculous. They wouldn't put you in something like that. They wouldn't let you leave school. Let's say you sat in it and you had 5 classes, you finished it in 10 days. What were you supposed to do? He told me he was supposed to come back in September. And I told him, no, you're a young black man. If you get out of this place and leave this school every day, the only thing you would probably do would be get into trouble or do things. But he told me that when he's finished, that's what he's going to do. And then he came back and told me that he can't go to the cafeteria without an escort. He has to have an escort, and that he doesn't eat in the cafeteria with the regular population. But what I really want to know is, after he does all this, and I asked about that curriculum, Mr. Ruiz, because while he's taking time away to do this, what he is doing, and he is doing it because they said he needed to do it to graduate, how is he going to finish what he needs for the 11th grade? I don't understand. How can he finish what the 11th grade courses that he's going to need, that he's missing now while he's in the library? That's my question.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Unfortunately, it's not a discussion and answer session. We can set up a meeting for you if you like.
You know what? I tried today. I called the principal because that's what I wanted to do. Sit down with somebody so they can say, talk to me. Tell me about it. But I didn't get a response. So I decided to come here.
Because like I said, I consider Dr. Adams the head of this whole ship. I'll ask him. So you know what? I'll make an appointment to see you then about that. So expect me, and the 11th grade and 12th grade curriculum, I like that. And of course, this is just me. Where's the board attorney? Right, you? Oh, sorry. Just out of curiosity.
Mrs. Kendall? Somebody else,
yes,
needs to get up in 3 minutes.
I'm sorry?
Your 3 minutes is up.
Okay, and as the board attorney, just out of curiosity, how can we have that monitor, that physical monitor right there replaced?
This board has nothing to do with the selection of the state monitor. That's all done through the Department of Education. So
Yeah, I know.
So you answered your own question.
Okay, no, so you just mean, I need to email the Department of Education. Got it. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Nina Summerlin. I reside at 1101 Banks Avenue. And I have a few questions in regards to, you guys are doing a journalism class at the high school, but online there is no curriculum for that class. So I'd like to find out if there is a curriculum and how can the parents obtain that information so they know what their kids are doing in that class, and who's actually teaching that class. The other issue I have is that was brought to my attention that the high school principal has actually sent home a letter to parents asking parents to sign off to give permission for their children to leave early if they have all their credits at the Ezra Park High School. My understanding is, and I have your policies and procedures that are online, there is nothing stated in your policies and procedures in the school district that states it is okay for us to offer an opportunity for our children to leave school at a half day. And gives the reasons why you can leave. It does not say that because you have credit, you can leave a half a day of school. You are not in the job program. And if I'm not mistaken, there was an issue last year with another student that a parent was signing her out for a half a day of school and it became an issue. And they had to stop. Somebody else had to actually go to the school in order to sign the young lady out. But now here we are this year, and we're allowing them to send home stuff to parents, asking them to release their information in regards to getting permission for kids to actually sign out a half a day. Legally, these kids are still minors. Parents are still responsible for their children. So you're saying you're going to have a kid to come to school for a half a day, sign out when they're done with their classes because they have their credits. Who's going to be responsible for that kid when they walk out that building? And the parent is a full-time worker? Are you guys going to take responsibility for that if those kids are on the street doing the wrong thing? I don't think so. Now my statement, this is going to be directed to Joe Grillo, and this is also going to go to Dr. Adams. You know, I understand a lot of people get frustrated because things are being said within our community in regards to what's going on and what's happening in this district. But like I said last year, and I said it again at the beginning of this school year, starting to hold town hall meetings to inform your community and your parents and your residents and your teachers in regards to what's going on in this district will save you a lot of this issue. So you don't have to worry about a blogging thing. But until you actually start holding town meetings, keep everybody informed of what's going on, you're not going to have any changes. You're going to still keep dealing with this day to day on a regular basis. So I say, we do need to start going back to town hall meetings to inform our parents of what's going on and eliminate a lot of the issues that you're dealing with in regards to people saying one thing and you're saying something else. Everybody at one meeting, you discuss everything, put it on the table, and keep it moving. This way, when you walk out of that town hall meeting, it is never said, well, that's not what he said at that meeting. But until we start learning, you know, how to work together to fix this issue that we have with our children, the one thing you all have to remember, without these kids in this district, you wouldn't be here. Not one of you. Thank you.
I'm sorry, really quick, one personal privilege. I know it's public comment, but I forgot. I got a little heated before. March 4th at Macrobites at 2 p.m. Have some coffee, have some donuts. want to come by, ask me any questions you want. I'll listen to whatever you have to say, and I invite any of my board members to come with me. There are certain things that we can't speak about as board members, especially when it comes to things like personnel, but I'll be more than happy to sit and listen. I see there's 5 people also online that are listening to us, to come to Macrobites on March 4th and have a cup of coffee with me, and whatever I can forward back to the superintendent or the board president, I will. So, just wanted to put it out there, so I forgot to mention it.
Ty Davis, Washington Avenue, lifelong resident of Asbury Park, graduated from Asbury Park High School. My question is this, I got 6 kids coming up in the curriculum, 6, all right? They're in all walks of the school. I got one in high school, but technically 4 in high school because it's now middle school. I got one that goes to this school, and I got one that goes to MLK. The first thing I have is uniforms, which I'm sure y'all address on that already. But my thing is, I'm a single father, all right? I work full, so like 45 to 50 hours a week. My daughter comes to me because she ain't got a school, school uniform dirty, she didn't wear it. She's got detention. That's not cool. That's not cool to the point where she's like, well, I'm not going to school because I ain't got a uniform. My thing is, it's not about the uniform, it's about education, it's about learning. So why is my daughter getting detention because she didn't have a school uniform? It makes no sense to me. Now, it's just ridiculous. You know, another thing is, the middle schoolers, all right? What more is there for them to do? All right? My middle school kids, they're like, well, the only thing they got is wrestling, basketball, baseball, but there's really not much more for them to do, like sports-wise or even like academic club-wise. Like, can y'all figure out something for them to do? Like, my daughter wanted to be in some type of academic club, some type of art club. Create something, anything, all right? So the middle schools have something to do. I already got over there with the high school kids. Now they're looking at the high school kids. The high school kids got a lot of things to do. But my other kids come home, so I got nothing to do. So, I mean, that's my concern. Just figure out something for them to do so they're not out in the streets and doing dumb stuff. That's it. That's all I got.
Hello, my name is Randy Vasquez, and I am a junior at Asbury Park High School. And I have a question about a class that I used to have, and it was called credit recovery. I want to know what that class was meant for, or what was the reason I had it. And it was removed on Genesis, and I have no clue what I earned from that class. All I did was just sit in that class, and I want to know what happened to those hours that I had to do while sitting down. Do I get those hours towards my buyback hours that I need to complete? Or why was credit recovery removed? That is my only question. Thank you.
Hi guys, Gina Herrera, math teacher at the high school. I have just 3 things real quick. Because I do student council, a lot of the students will come to me with concerns. And so my first one is actually the SAT prep, which is for the dream kids. I'm going to read to you. Only 4% of colleges now require test scores, 4%. I know because my daughter's in college now, she was born during last year. They want something else. Can you do something for them? Can you do a programming class? We have so many things online. The SAT is not what they asked for. It's just, if you just consider it, they're concerned because it's really not valid right now for colleges, the SAT scores. Second of all, my daughter wasn't Dreaming Happy last year. She was valedictorian. She's now at Pace University. She has 2 semesters to go. Thank you very much. She's on Dean's List. Please, I'm begging you, can I help in any way? Please don't give these kids 30 credits. There has to be option B. Georgia Court, Rutgers, our kids are used to virtual anyways, or anything. I understand that. I've been on your side. The kids are like, I understand 30 credits, but that's half of what they have. All I'm saying is, can you step out of the box and ask the questions and maybe keep the program with the grants if it's a funding issue? That's all. I'm willing to help, with that. And then the third and final thing is also the CTE program. I want to cry because I was part of the CTE program from the get-go. I was an advocate. I still want to cry. We lost Ms. Gogan. I'm glad we're keeping Allied Health. We still have the engineering. We lost the one public safety. The kids are begging me for it. They're begging. It's not 1, it's not 2. You heard from the 7th graders. I have a senior who's in tears because she couldn't finish that program. All I'm saying is, I'll go to the cosmetology. I'm on the same line as the CTE woman. I have a 24-year-old son who makes $120,000 a year as a cybersecurity person. We have 0, 0, 0 computer touch. 0. I teach math. I haven't done it in a while, but if you need me to go back, I will. They need some programming. Even if you start with Minecraft, that's where these kids are going to make the money. They're not going to make the money selling hair. It's just, I don't even know where that came from. The CTE program was to keep our students, was it not? It was to increase our enrollment. What parent of a charter school student is going to say, oh, let me send her as a part of style hair? If you say we have engineering, we have computer classes, we have allied health, we have these things that are marketable skills. My other daughter just got a job for $140,000. She's 27 years old. She does marketing. She does websites. Ava, my 19-year-old, is in a website design course right now at Pace, and she loves it. She loves it. Please, I will help. But my heart is breaking for these kids because they want to learn and they want to do things that are marketable. That's the end. Sorry.
Thank you. At this time, we'll close public participation.
A few responses, Madam President, if you would allow me. To Mr. Davis, I'm sure the high school principal, as well as Mr. Ruiz, we have our after-school program for our middle school students. They just need to see their building principal about signing up for the after-school program for 7th and 8th grade. That's been something that we've had since our after-school programs have started. And so we have definitely struggled with attracting the 7th and 8th grade students into the after-school program because they are a little bit different than the elementary program that we presently have until 5, 6 o'clock, which you will find in other places where we do provide them with meals as well. So just have your students that are interested see the principal to sign up, okay? As far as the uniforms are concerned, your son, he is on the student advisory committee. He know that I answered some of those questions that we're going to continue to work on. The uniform, I would consider it dress code because with the uniform, students either have to have a certain top or certain bottom. If they are in dress code, that is more than acceptable for a father like yourself, having multiple children. One of the things that we have also offered to many families is to fill out the waiver during the early part of the school year for the uniforms to be one uniform per child, per family. So next year, I would implore you, if that situation applies to you, I'm not saying that it does, but if it does, please make sure that you do apply for that and we will be able to, because it's on a first come, first served basis next year. But as far as the cleanliness of the uniform, we also have a washer and dryer at the high school, which students can use at any time. It's in the library, so that's part of our social conscious project. So we do have detergent in the machines in there for the students to wash their clothes, okay? Wash their uniforms. So we're talking older students, of course, we all know about washing their own clothes, separate them, do what you need to do, but we do have the machines and the detergents to facilitate that, okay? So wanted to make sure that I addressed that. As far as the CTE programs, there are varying views and opinions about that. I know 2 beauticians that own 3 salons. I know 2 barbers that own 2 barbershops each. I know the countless number of, within certain communities, whether you're going to get a doobie, that place is packed on a Saturday within certain communities. So we need to be culturally aware of who we're working with and who we're working for, and the entrepreneurial opportunities that cosmetology, they're not just doing hair, they're not playing with Barbies. So we need to be a little more mindful of what that means within the context of the communities that utilize those services. For a certain number of people coming out, it is the only opportunity to have a gainful entrepreneurial opportunity after some of them have been incarcerated. So to minimize the opportunity of a cosmetology opportunity, where they can take those skills and transfer them to wherever they want to go. The world is a lot bigger than just Monmouth County, New Jersey. So those skills and those licenses are transferable. So I want to be mindful that we have taken into serious consideration after losing, after the law and public safety staff member resigned and relocated to Florida. We are not in the position of going into any professional's room and indicating that they have to go. They have seeked employment elsewhere. I'm sure all of us at one point or another have sought employment in different locations for various reasons. That is what some of the other professionals have done. We are not in the business, beside asking for an exit interview as to the reason or rationale why staff members have left. For example, Ms. McMillan came out on maternity leave, God bless her, and her new baby, thinking about what's best for her and her family. One of our teachers of the month, who was here, had a baby when she was my special ed teacher, decided to come back, but had she decided to make other options for her and her family, that would have been up to her and her family. So to make that connection and that Grand Canyon leap, that people are leaving here because somehow just things aren't that good, well, let's just say there are business reports out there that finding employees in the nation right now is hard to fill. So we are looking to fill our science positions. We're lucky that we were able to find a physician to fill the CTE allied health position. We've been looking for hard-to-fill positions such as chemistry, bio. Those are very hard positions to fill, not just in Asbury Park, but within the state of New Jersey and nationally. So it's very good and easy to have a myopic approach when you're looking at things from a small lens. But we need to think macro on how what we're doing and what we're offering our students is, in a lot of ways, offering them the opportunity that they will have, that they'll never have to worry about getting fired from a job. If you employ yourself, you'll never have to worry about being unemployed. So I think we need to be a little more cognizant of some of the conversations about what that means. I don't know one barbershop that's not packed on a Saturday morning.
But you need the
Excuse me, ma'am, 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 excuse me, ma'am. The reality is the CTE programs that we have looked at because of the enrollment of our students in those programs have forced us to look at other options. This was not an overnight, I just had a cup of coffee and now I have an espresso rush that I need to come up with a new fantastic idea. There have been countless meetings, visits, as well to address some of these programs that we are offering to our students. If cosmetology was not a major thing, then that would not be one of the offerings at the County Votech as well. Now, you don't have to necessarily like those facts, but the facts are the facts. The man that said she's going to meet with me, I'll gladly meet with you. Make an appointment, and we'll yeah, I got you. Okay? I told you before, most of the issues that you brought up before, we've kind of addressed them. Right? So, the New Jersey Virtual School is one of the programs that we are utilizing in the high school to help our students who are extremely credit deficient. The board, I think 3 months ago, approved a very hefty sum to provide all of our students who are credit deficient with New Jersey Virtual School in partnership with MOES. One of the things that had been discussed about the validity of some of the buyback hours and the activities that students have been doing to buy back hours, and I would be the first to say did not meet the smell test. Therefore, we needed to address it and address it properly and to do it coherently with which was best with other districts were using, as well as utilizing New Jersey Virtual School. So those students who are in the media center at the high school most of the day are utilizing New Jersey Virtual School for credit recovery. As far as the journalism class, I have received the email communication from our teacher. I have met with the director of curriculum instruction as well as the high school principal to address the curriculum needs of that, and they did have a meeting with that teacher today. Have they released? I will be looking into that because, again, I may know a lot, but I don't know everything. And I will be the first to say that what I don't know, give me some time to look into it, and I'll give you feedback on that at next month's board meeting. Town hall meeting. We are looking to do one, but the board is looking to do one. With Madam President and Madam Vice President. I will attend, but that is not my meeting. That is the Board of Education's meeting. If 90% of your questions revolve around curriculum and instruction, then please send me an email, make a phone call, set up an appointment, because I oversee the operations. As far as policy and governance, that's on the board. So, Mr. Vasquez, the student, I hope any of your questions regarding your credit recovery, please make sure you see the principal who will make sure that she addresses your needs. And again, if there are specific questions related to in-building issues, please, if you have not first met with the building principal, which they are always accessible, to resolve any of your concerns, then the next phase is I get phone calls. I have a 24-hour turnaround on responding to phone calls and emails. Any phone calls that I receive, they do receive a phone call directly from me and or director. As far as our special ed services, this has been an ongoing concern, and I want to say this again. We lost $8.6 million last year. We're slated to lose another $8 million again this year, possibly. I hope the same energy is at the city council meeting when we put forth and get our numbers from the state. The deputy mayor is here. She's been an awesome partner. And she has her child in the district. So she understands personally the firsthand impact of those cuts. But she is one person on the city council. So if you look at historically the funding of the district, in order for some of those positions to provide services, whether it's OT, PT, or related services, those services are not being offered at charter schools. We've already been dealing with our early intervention students being told that they're being provided at charter schools. So we're doing our best to make sure in all of the schedules, because we've been dealing with this behind the scenes, with the staff, with the department, and the changeover on staff, again, we can agree to disagree on a lot of different things. But we can disagree on the amount of work that both is being done by the staff to provide for the students and the administration to support them. It is just a difference on how those services are being done. Thank you, Madam President.
Good evening, everyone. This is the HRV report from the month of January. We had 3 HRV complaints. All 3 were founded. There was a description of instance, verbal name calling, demeaning name calling, mocking offensive comments, and the principal in those instances took care of those matters. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a motion for the acceptance of minutes.
I'd like to change my vote on previous board minutes, items 7 and 8. I'd like to abstain.
Okay, for the members who are here, Mr. Rogers is making a motion to allow himself to change his votes from the prior board meeting, specifically items 7 and 8. You'll recall that we previously did this for another board member, and we would take the same approach to doing it for Mr. Rogers. So we would need a motion and a second, and from there we'll do a roll call vote.
Second.
This is to allow Mr. Rogers to change his vote in the 126-23 meeting, be 7 and 8 to abstain. Mrs. Linsky? Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Osback?
Yes.
Ms. Cook?
Motion carried. So, Mr. Hastings, then for the next motion, which would be to approve those minutes, I would just suggest that when the motion when made would be to approve the minutes with the amendment that was just put forward by Mr. Rogers.
Thank you. Could I have a motion for A112, A through C, reflecting the change noted?
I'll move it.
Mrs. Linsky?
Yes.
Ms. Cook? Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Osback? Thank you.
One question. Mr. Hastings, I just want to make sure I've got my numbers right. How much did we give to the charter schools the last budget?
Approximately $12 million. So it was not given, that's what's noted.
Oh, I like to say it's given. We're giving it to them. 12 million taxpayer dollars.
motion for all items C1 to C4, number 14.
I'll make a motion.
We have a second, please?
Second.
Questions, comments?
This is for which, this is for C?
Yes, right now we're going with the C agenda. Okay. So that's all items C1, number 1 to C4, number 14.
Sorry for the delay, we need Dr. Adams back here.
While we're waiting, Mr. Hastings, I saw it before now, of course I can't find it. The Axelrod trip. Where is that? I can't find it. That's on B, okay. I just want to make sure.
It's on students.
Yep.
Sorry, man. The students were leaving, I wanted to get to them before they left. No, I have no changes, including the agenda.
Okay, so right now we have a motion for the C section, C1, number 1 to C4, number 14, moved and seconded. Any questions or comments? Thank you, Ms. Lozinski.
Yes.
Ms. Cook? Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. Remy? Yes. Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Walsh-Beck?
I'll ask for a consent agenda on all items B1 through B6, number 1, B1 through B6, number 2.
One quick comment on, this is B1 to B5, right? B6, sorry. With the item 23, so the board's going to approve up to 100 honor roll students, including staff, to attend the Axelrod Performing Arts Center Vocal Auditorium to watch the play Raisin, which is a reimagining of A Raisin in the Sun. I'm going to have to abstain from that one, but just really quick, anyone who has ever read the book, definitely go out and see the play. It's fantastic, so I just want to put that out there.
It's not a personnel item, it's really majority of the board president.
So I won't abstain. I don't get any gain from it, so. I don't get any gain.
All right, so we have a motion on the table, B1, number 1 through B6, number 2. It's been moved and seconded. Any other questions?
No worries. Thank you.
Seeing none, Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Ms. Cook? Mr. Grillo?
Yes, apparently.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Mr. Rogers?
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries.
Okay, we're going to make a motion to go in exec. So whereas the Open Public Meeting Act allows exclusion from discussion at the public portion of the meeting of certain matters as outlined below, and whereas the Asbury Park Board of Education wishes to discuss such matters meet and will make such decisions public when proper conclusion has been reached. Now therefore, be that it resolved that the Asbury Park Board of Education will hold a closed executive session on this date, February 23rd, 2022, at the Asbury Park, New Jersey, for the purposes of outlined below. Litigations, contract matters, client purchase. Motion, please.
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Grillo?
Here.
Ms. Lozinski?
Here.
Mr. Remy? Here. Mr. Rogers? And Ms. Cook?
Can motion to adjourn this meeting, please?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.